Welcome to the Bob and Mike cast. I am Mike Kaczmarczyk with fellow realtor Bob Greenlaw.
Hey guys.
And we're going to talk about real estate life and basically anything else that has to do with life. Today we're going to get into can you buy property on Mars? That's a little bit later on. It's a little teaser for you. Yeah, so it may get a little deep. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see how it goes. But I see you got your Tim Hortons today. So
I do. Yeah. I had to stop, man. I know you always have coffee, so thank you. But I had to stop and get my little breakfast on.
I don't blame you, man.
So I popped a sandwich in the car on the right
you
over.
had a sandwich too. Did you get the combo? No, or did you go straight coffee?
Dude, I went combo. I got the whole potato, the whatchamacallit?
The hash brown.
Hash brown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so good too.
Now usually that doesn't get like past the drive-through. Like as soon as they hand it to me, it's the hash brown's gone.
Yeah, so
that's the first thing.
She gave me the bag. She gave me 3 sets of coupons for, sandwiches and stuff. She's a really nice lady. She's always there. Anyway.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah. She's very nice. And as I drove out, I didn't even make the curve, which is 4 feet from the window, and I already had the hand in the bag, and honestly drove over the curb, right? Because it has that stupid curve that's like right there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I drove right over it, man.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone in there is laughing and going, yep, grabbing this coffee or something, not watching or paying attention. I did. I literally went in, grabbed the hash brown. I was grabbing the hash brown, driving, boom.
It has to be one of those things that they just watch from the window because they know it's coming. They know it's there. And they're just waiting for somebody to bump over that thing.
They know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They know, man. They know they're watching it. They're filming it. They're recording it. I wouldn't be half surprised if I catch it up on a look at this dummy YouTube video later.
Yeah, those kids these days.
Yeah, right.
They're probably putting you up on what, YouTube Shorts and
and you say
Reels
this,
and
you say this kids thing, right? My kids this weekend, they were somewhere at someone's house.
Okay.
Probably doing a lot of what we did when we were in high school, which was
let's hope not. Yeah.
Well, let's just say we know that there's a good chance there was a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, 2 kids got into an altercation. Right?
Okay.
And before the evening was even over, this whole altercation was videoed and all over social.
Oh, you can't do anything without it being recorded. Cameras everywhere. Yeah.
Mike, I was baffled. My son called when he left this house and said, I'm on my way home. I'll be there, whatever. I try never to fall asleep if my kids are outside the house. So
Gotcha.
I'm awake no matter what as a default. In this particular instance, both my wife and I were awake. And when he walked in, he's telling us, and as he's trying to tell us the story, it's everywhere already. He didn't even get it out. I had already received it from other parents.
So, yeah, it travels fast.
That was cool. That's pretty quick.
And you know what? I bet you it wasn't just like this random, like we used to get the black and white security footage, from these places, but fuzzy,
that doesn't look like
fuzzy.
me. It's real fuzzy.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell. But, yeah, these are the production values.
I don't even have that shirt anymore.
Off the charts, it probably has like a score, a musical score. And
the clarity was insane.
Words coming up, credits.
Oh yeah. It was totally edited. It had a song background. I think Rocky was playing by the time. Listen, if you were a teenager and had that ability, I could have imagined you having a reel out there that fast, edited with music.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh.
But we had this camcorder that you had to plug it in and you had to set it up on a tripod.
Yeah.
And you couldn't hear anything.
No. And you had to edit on the machine, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do it through a computer.
The Commodore 64, I don't think was going to carry that, plug your camera into a Commodore 64 and
I don't think you were plugging in cameras back then. That's going way back. No, I'm saying even the first digital stuff wasn't most of that editing had to be done like on something like a machine, right? Like a different machine that did that or a computer that only did that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is today, like I said, just 2 days ago, this film came out. These 2 kids had an altercation where even they themselves haven't had enough time. Like we've all been there.
Yeah.
Smack around, you get into it with a friend or something like that. And then a day or 2 passes and you call and be like, hey man, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong. Let's just cut it and move forward. Right. Like, But these two kids don't even have a chance. Like their stuff now is being rated at who won the fight. Like, yeah. And you can see how the kids are going to do that. I mean,
video game created about it already. Yeah.
I'm sure these two kids are already viral, right?
For sure.
Like for sure. 100%.
Their next match is going to be UFC, next Saturday.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, there'll be a rematch. And
Jake Paul, right?
And that's what's going to end up happening.
For
All
sure.
week long, they're going to be talking about this at school is, we're rematching. We're rematching, right? Because now someone's ego is going to get.
Well, you don't have the original without setting up the rematch.
This was a complete accidental altercation.
Not that we condone
should
any
not.
fighting of
No,
any
no,
kind,
no, no.
especially at that age.
This
But
should never have happened. It just escalated really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And from the story that I got from my son, who was very close to the altercation and did not do the filming, but he said everybody else was. And he said, you could tell like it was going, like some of the stuff was but here's what I'm saying. Like, that is so weird considering how we grew up. We didn't have that. I know we kind of veered off topic, but the fact that these kids can video so fast, so quick, and then, and I'm in Tim Hortons, right? This is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I jump a curb, which I myself find, you're laughing at me.
Not purposely.
Because it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you've probably done that same curb 1,000 times because of the same action.
Oh, what was that?
Wow, that was, yeah.
Why don't you take a sip of the
I'm going to need
over
some
there?
more Tim Hortons to wash that.
Yeah, I don't know.
down.
You got
Oh
extra
my
large
God.
over there.
But yeah, that's my
probably
point.
that hash brown coming back up.
Yeah, it's and they screwed up my sandwich, just to be full transparent.
Hey. Well, you know what? She was nice. So we'll take that.
Yeah,
we'll take
the
niceness
the
over
lady
over
in the
quality.
window makes it all worth it. She's
Yeah.
she's been there for as long as I can remember now, since we used to work right there. And
How do you screw up the sandwich? Because it seems like it's,
actually, when I say
eggs
this,
and
you're
bacon
gonna
and sausage or whatever. you
yeah,
had
but
on
hold
it, and
on, I'm
cheese,
actually
but-
just gonna make it really easy for you.
Yeah.
I had a BLET.
Oh, you had extra ingredients. Okay. Yeah, you had that big the complicated sandwich.
Okay, listen, this sandwich is made in almost every restaurant we know,
Mm-hmm.
and
But it's a step above.
but it's a clear indicator. BLT.
B-E.
Oh,
You forgot the eggs.
okay. BELT, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So each one of those represent an ingredient. So
Sure.
like if you're making the sandwich, you're going, B, bacon, E, egg, L, lettuce, T, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any lettuce, I didn't have any tomato, and I had an extra egg in there. Clearly, the message was not BELT or whatever it was called.
You looked like a man that needed extra protein this morning.
Apparently, they made
That's-
what I needed, not what I wanted.
You probably have to pay normally extra for that extra egg patty.
And that's what I was thinking. I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, did I pay extra? I know I didn't, but I was like, wow, did I pay an extra egg? Because I would never order another egg. I mean, the thing was
Well,
like seriously 3.5 inches
Poor
high.
guy behind you was still waiting on his double egg. And,
Nobody behind me.
Nobody behind you. Oh,
Nobody in front of me.
So
So this was clearly not a mistake or hand me the wrong sandwich. This was made for me.
She doubled you up with
She
egg.
dubbed me up,
Okay,
and then handed off the bag and was like, "Good morning." I look like an ass, drive over the metal whatever curb thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And now they're giggling at me. I'm on YouTube. I'm making a sensation. Meanwhile, I'm not. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
eat that sandwich till I got into your driveway.
So that's when you noticed.
That's when because if not, you know me, I'd have
they
just
knew.
circled back. But they knew. They knew.
They knew. Yeah, you didn't know yet, but they.
So
knew.
now I'm
Yeah.
wondering, did they think that, he drove over the curb because he opened up his sandwich and was pissed? Because I gave him a free
maybe.
egg. I thought he'd be happy about it.
But no bacon. Did you say?
It had bacon, but
Had
it had like a pile. It was like okay, I know some people see this, some people won't, but it's like it had like 3 pieces of bacon directly in the middle of the sandwich.
where they're stuck together, like a
it was a clump of bacon.
like when you pull a nacho and they all stick together,
And-
that
and-
type of deal.
And I don't want to dog TH because I love everything
Yeah,
that they
be
do.
careful, be careful.
We're
That's
not
a
dogging. We're
great
not
place.
dogging. I think that we had some special attention and maybe could have just used a little extra attention. That's all.
See, that's my go-to. Of all the, I mean, listen, I used to be Dunkin' Donuts, right? Used to
for
be
a long time.
Dunkin' Donuts, Tim Hortons, and then Starbucks is not near the top for me. It's just not my thing.
For me either. Unless I'm going like caramel macchiato stuff.
Yeah,
like if
if
I'm
you're
going
going
for like a
non-coffee.
specialty,
Non-coffee, yeah.
yeah. If I'm going for a non-coffee tasting coffee, I'm going to Starbucks, right?
You want espresso, you want something different if you want to go a little bit above. But for coffee during the day,
go to is Tim Hortons. Period. Yeah.
But yeah, so it used to be Dunkin' Donuts, and then it flip flopped, and I don't know if I changed or they changed. I don't know, but I'm Tim Hortons now all the way.
Yeah, but you used to be Tim Hortons like years ago, and then you went to Dunkin', and I think it was when you moved because it was closer to home.
It was closer, yes. And when I have to go pick up my kids every now and then from school, their schools change. So I have Tim Hortons. It used to be Tim Hortons on the way.
See, and then it changed.
And now Dunkin' Donuts is right there. But now it's back
to Timmy's.
Yes. So, but still, I prefer it. I mean, I'll take either one. I'm not going to,
Listen, when you need a coffee, you got to have a coffee. Just stop and get a coffee, right?
For sure. Yeah.
But, I mean, let me just ask you this. Do you think...
Hold on.
Okay. No, it's not crazy. Okay. Do you think that, or have you had, I should say, their turkey bacon club sandwich? It comes like on a little like mini focaccia thing.
From Tim Hortons?
From Tim Hortons.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Good sandwiches.
All right. I'm going to say this, and I'm a sandwich guy. You know I'm a sandwich guy. Mm-hmm. I give credit to all sandwich places because they all have their own particular sandwich that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But at Tim Hortons, this sandwich, if you're going to get a midday coffee and you want that, hey, I'm going to do lunch, I'm going to have a coffee, I recommend just go get that combo. They didn't have it this morning because obviously it was breakfast time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I even asked her, I'm like, you guys don't just have these things ready, right? And she's like, no, we actually make the sandwich. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, forget it then. But that's what I really went there for. I was having like a craving, right?
And the hot chips. Oh, you get those?
I don't. Only if I eat there. Only if I eat there. Well, because again, that's like the French fry thing. I'll go to McDonald's if I'm in the car, no French fries. I try not to order the French fry because I'm going to go in there. Then I'm going to have 20 French fries on the bottom of my seat. Yeah, you know how that goes, right?
That's your ride home. That's your meal.
Yeah.
Before the meal.
It's the meal before the snack.
Yes.
The snack.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing with
There
Tim
is a
Hortons.
term for that, right? Called the snack, right?
It's called the snack, Mike.
Yeah. Never heard of this. What's a snack?
Never heard of a snack before? You don't do snacks around here?
Okay.
So, if you're going to have a little snack on the way home, don't get the fries because even though they're the best, they end up on your floor.
Got it.
And then you're making a mess.
Chips you're not doing yourself any favors with chips.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And the chips, same thing. Now your fingers are
chips
greased.
are floor and they're all over your clothes.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm big on it. Listen, if you're going to eat in the car, which I think is animalistic, but if you're going to eat in the car, which I do.
I think it's necessary. I think it's efficient.
I mean, really.
We're talking about a level of efficiency here, right?
Yeah, no, there's nothing efficient.
You're multitasking.
Come on now.
Yes.
Now we're pushing things. I mean, I know we're casting here and we're free to go a little crazy, but this is going way off left field. It is not efficient to eat in your car in any capacity. I don't care what you say.
Tacos in the car while driving. Have you ever done that?
No. I've ate a burrito. That's the same.
Well, yeah. But you want to talk about a mess.
Right.
There's no way to control that. But you have to be super hungry.
So that's the why. That's the answer. Hungry, why is you're hungry.
And sometimes, you've been here in between appointments, right? Okay, I have a half hour to get from here to here, and I need to eat. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Listen, I said it's animalistic. I didn't say I don't do it.
And there's a nice Taco Bell right there.
Sure. But see, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do Taco Bell during the workday, though.
No.
I can't do that.
One, I can't show up having dragon breath and having mild sauce down my face. Come on. That is definitely not efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the cheese.
Lettuce dangling off the tooth while you're talking to your client.
And the cheese gets everywhere. I don't care how careful you are. There's cheese. It like explodes out of it.
Yeah, and you're not getting like a crunchy taco because as soon as you take bite one, boom, there's an explosion nacho feast all over your. But my point is, there's no efficiency.
A taste explosion.
But there's no efficiency to that. You didn't save any time. Matter of fact, I only can see you added more things to do later. Because now we got to go clean the car. We got to vacuum up cheese. We got to wipe up the mild sauce, change my clothes.
True, but I'm in instant gratification mode at that point.
So we're not putting any thought about what we're doing
lately, right?
Wow. So we're not putting any thought at going forward 5 minutes.
Like, you know what? I'll deal with that when the time comes.
Mm.
You know, clean the car, vacuum.
See, I laugh because you're a drink guy too. You have to have a drink with
Always.
you. Okay.
All day.
Now,
all day.
My wife is exactly the same way. She has got to have a drink.
Non-alcoholic during the day, by the way.
Non-alcoholic,
I have to drink,
whether it's a coffee
when I'm
or
driving,
a pop.
it's a coffee, water, tea,
Yeah.
no pop.
Yeah, you don't do pop.
I
She'll
pop.
do a pop every now and again. She has no problem drinking a pop. But my point is, she will always have liquids.
Well, here, look what I have here.
Yeah, you've got
I have my coffee, right?
Glass of water.
And my glass of water.
And then down here under the desk, there's a 5-gallon bucket of
everything
Evian with a straw.
Ready for refills, just in case. Just in case.
Listen, man, I say this. I don't say this to make fun. She's the same way.
Yeah.
And you're the same way. And every time, it's funny because no
God
matter
bless
where
her.
I go, yeah, well, I know that's how you think.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. She'll make fun of me and say, I have the drink, but you drink it. And I do. It's like leading a horse to water. You bring a water bottle in front of me. It just sits there long enough. For me, my brain says, drink the water because it's just sitting there.
I think you would always have a drink if you didn't drink it so fast. Like, you get a coffee and your coffee's down like
Quick.
you're taking a shot. Like that size right there. I'm surprised
It's actually
that
almost
it's
gone.
still, yeah, of course.
I mean,
of course.
there's probably...
I don't know if you may had some ice cubes put in there because it's too hot.
I bought
Cool
this
it off a little bit. Did you
got
ask?
this like an hour ago, so it's cooled off.
It's cooled off. Now, did they put any egg in there? Did you get a double egg in your coffee?
I don't think so.
You sure?
I'm gonna go with I
Okay.
don't think so. Yeah, I don't want to look.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not upset. It was a good sandwich per se, but it wasn't what I ordered. Right? I mean, the fact that it was a double egg with some bacon. I'm not big on a lot of bacon in my sandwich because it's a pungent taste. So
Yeah.
a little bit goes a long way. So I wasn't even that upset that but it was just in the middle. So like when you took your first bite, there was no bacon, there was no lettuce, no tomato. See, my
Everything
brain was
you
waiting
were
to receive
waiting,
that.
and all you had was egg.
And then when I looked down at it, I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this?
What's going on here?
And now I had a mess. I'm in your driveway. I've got egg all over the floor. I'm throwing it out your window. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is ridiculous.
So you know what I had last night? Speaking of sandwiches, we had the boy had a soccer game. So on our way home, we picked up Panera for dinner, and I've been getting, and I don't know why, right? But I've been getting the caprese sandwich they have there, and it's on a baguette, right? So it's a huge sandwich for Panera, and I think in my head, okay, I'm getting a deal, right? I'm getting this big sandwich. Problem is, I love caprese sandwiches, right? Or salads, or that whole mozzarella and how do you say mozzarella better than I do?
You got it. You're saying it
Go
great.
ahead, go say
It's mozzarella, but you said it fine. You say
Rolling
it great.
off, there you go.
Just
Okay.
roll it off, man.
Okay,
You're doing
but I
great.
like the,
I'm following you, man. Like I'm tasting it as you're speaking.
Okay, so anyway, so I get it, and this is maybe the third time I've gotten it, right? And every time I get it, I'm expecting to get something that I really, really like, but it doesn't taste that great. And I'm thinking, okay, so you have the Italian sandwich, it's on French bread, right?
Oh, there's your first mistake.
There's a mixture there that's not working, right?
Can't put Italian on French. Everyone knows that. It's a rule.
You're
Rule
throwing
number
it
one.
together, so there's a contradiction already. And
As if we don't have Italian bread. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And I get it because I love the idea of it, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get that, and I get fooled every time.
Right.
And so I have it, and it's just not great. It's a mess. They put that garlic aioli sauce on there. There's arugula.
I don't know why you looked at me and you had to do the old
arugula.
You were doing the old head bob and weave.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
that's some fancy stuff.
So,
Arugula.
it's impressed. Arugula.
Brought in some body motion. I love it.
But yeah, so I had it, and I get it, and I eat it, and I eat the whole thing.
Well, of course. I mean,
yeah.
you're going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's decent, you still eat it. But I hate when you have it upstairs.
You're
just waiting to taste this.
Really good. Because I've had a good one. Because when we go to Cantoro, right?
Right.
I'll get that sandwich, and it's the same thing.
But it's kicked up 70 notches.
But it's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so I don't know why I'm expecting Panera to throw together, homemade bread and mozzarella that's just cut.
They're repeating a sandwich 1,000,000 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy to do. The grand scope of it is
if you have the right ingredients,
and it all becomes a cost thing. So like where you can take an individual restaurant and you can jazz things up even just a smidgen because it really doesn't hit the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Where for Panera, a drop of vinegar is times 1,000,000 per day. My guess would be the expense goes up, right?
For sure.
And already with food costs soaring through the roof, I mean, these poor restaurateurs, I mean, at some point, people are going to start saying, yeah, I'm just going to eat at home because I can make it cheaper.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
These days, I think
those days are coming back. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I feel it in my gut. And we eat at home a lot, so I'm not afraid to cook at home.
Yeah.
It's inconvenient. Like that is inconvenient. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
And you can multitask under that, but not in your car, by the way, just to sum that whole conversation up.
I didn't eat the baguette in my car.
Yeah.
That would have been a mess.
Right.
I would have had sauce dripping everything. It was a mess when I was sitting at my table.
So think about that. That would not be one place you'd stop in the car, right?
And I do not like sloppy sandwiches.
No.
Like, I like it to be very neat.
You don't even like having meat, like too much meat. Like I've seen you on multiple occasions like pull things off to make the sandwich your way.
Overloaded with And like Jimmy John's will throw a ton on there. Yeah, we're just going through the gamut of every. I mean, we eat
everywhere.
Yeah, it's just whatever sounds good that day. But yeah, I don't like when they load that.
But we're
up.
both big on sandwiches, which has at least been one thing that's been great. Like we both can agree on a sandwich place. Like we've never come up with, what do you want to eat? No, you list off 5 things and you'll be like, but as soon as someone says whatever sandwich shop, even doesn't matter. Any sandwich shop, Subway, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, whatever, Panera. Panera and Potbelly are the ones we have to go to because again, mess.
Yes.
Right. It's more of a, you have to sit down and get your hands out there, get the elbows up and get into it,
Oh yeah. Picking up the Panera is efficient.
Respect.
Eating
those are good sandwiches, but you can't eat them in the car and you sure's. There's something about eating at a restaurant for me that takes precedent. I really do feel like, and I know you and I differ on this again, eating out, coming back, and then eating the food that you went out to go get when you could have just stayed there and ate it. Instead,
you're
chose
missing out on the experience. Yeah, you're paying for something and you're getting shortchanged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why take it back home? If you're going out, go out, eat, come back. You bring no mess.
Exactly. In this case, I had, 2 of my kids were with us. Right. The other one was at home, so we had to bring everything home. And
of course, which is what we do because we all eat together and blah, blah, blah. I got it. But my point is, I'll even say, even now, like, hey, you guys want to go and get something? I say this at home and then they'll look at me and be like, sure, let's go. What are you going to go get? Well, let's go here and go, eat this. And they'll be like, well, can you just bring me back something? Like, no. The point is I want to go out to eat with you. Let's go sit down, have lunch together, dinner, whatever it is, and then come home and not have a mess. But see, I think my kids deliberately love making a mess or having mess around them 24/7. So,
it gives you something to do.
It gives us something to do. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Totally. I totally agree. 100%.
So anyway, listen,
we were jumping into something precast. We should probably get into. We were kind of. You were throwing out some stuff there, some crazy news. This will be news related.
This is news. Yeah, I don't know if we don't have a news bulletin thing here, but sound. But so Mount Washington, New Hampshire, they had the coldest wind chill recorded in U.S. history.
Okay, you were gonna say you were gonna drop the number and surprise me. Go.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Like literally.
Like it's 30 degrees outside today.
Right. Which isn't bad.
Which is it actually is comfortable.
It is nice.
I'll take it for Michigan. But 110 below.
Whoa.
110.
Whoa.
So they say that within 1 minute.
This is in New Hampshire, you said?
In New Hampshire. Yeah. Mount Washington. And I guess their weather there is horrible. So they have some of the worst weather in the United States.
Okay. So not.
Why do you live there?
Is a record.
I don't know. But so
this is a record.
This is a record, right?
Wow. That's cold, man.
Within 1 minute, you will get frostbitten.
That's like Arctic numbers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's crazy. That's and I don't know, what the lowest temperature is recorded in the world, but that's the U.S. Now, just to give you an idea, the temperature on Mars that day, right? And Mars fluctuates like crazy, right?
Bro, are we going to Mars?
We're going. I'm gonna tell you about Mars because we're talking about, could you?
Are we going to Mars?
We'll get into this because I have some interesting things.
Okay.
I have some interesting things.
All right. So we're linking it to Mars. Go. I'm listening. Coldest day in Mars
coldest day in Mars is, or not the coldest day in Mars. It's not the coldest day, but the temperature that day. All right. It was colder on Mars than it was in New Hampshire.
You mean vice versa? It's colder in New Hampshire.
It's colder in New Hampshire. Did I say that? Yeah. And I flipped those two.
Flip it. Go backwards.
So yeah, Mars is the cold one. No, Mars is not the cold one.
Right. Mars is not the cold one.
It is the cold one.
Right.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
So it was 110, minus 110 wind chill. It was 105 negative on Mars. And
so literally warmer on Mars than on Earth.
Yes.
In that one point.
At that one point, yes. And I mean, Mars goes up to as high as 16 degrees that day. So it was between negative 105 and 16 throughout the day. So that's a huge range that changes on Mars. So I guess they have some crazy storms up there. But Mars actually can get, now here, I'm going to throw some more numbers at you. You ready?
Bring it.
Okay. So Mars can fluctuate between, it can go as high as 70 degrees, which is comfortable. I take 70. Yeah. And it can go as low as negative 225.
Okay, that's a little cold.
225.
That's a little cold, bro.
we can't even picture that because obviously
isn't that
probably
like
break
the
in
temperature
half, right?
of dry ice?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't have
I'm
my
just sitting
stats
here
on
thinking,
dry ice, but
oh my Lord.
Negative 225. So, they say that because of all the storms and the craziness that goes on there, the weather just jumps back and forth. So that's what makes it kind of hard to live up there, right?
Yeah.
Well, that and there's no,
right.
You can't breathe the air. But
well, there's that. I think there's a few things about not living up on Mars. Yeah. But and I say this, and I know we've talked about this before, and so I'm going to say it again because I don't think anyone listening to us.
Too many things here. I don't know where you're going.
But remember how I told you how we keep having all these missions to Mars? We've dropped off, I don't know how many of these rovers and stuff to go like exploring and all that. Mm-hmm. And they have told us that they do drill and bring home samples, right? I mean, or analyze it right on the drone or whatever, it is. Mm-hmm.
The
rover, whatever they call it.
Red rover.
Yeah, well, you've seen some of these things. I mean, they're bigger than this room we're sitting in.
Here, you know what? I have a video. Why don't I throw this up here real quick?
Okay.
Talk about your. So this is what they did a year ago when they landed. So we'll get into this. And wow, 24 minutes. So I'm going to speed it up.
Yeah,
because we want to see
speed it up to the landing.
Okay, where we?
Yeah, we don't want to listen to this guy.
This is the entire landing. So we're going to get to the end because.
Well, while you're getting that up, just listen to me here.
Okay, go ahead.
Think about this. What are they drilling for, and what are they finding? I know they're drilling to find out if there was life on Mars. I mean, we all know that, right? I mean, if anyone doesn't think, just you realize how big that machine is, right? It's not tiny. The thing is enormous.
It's hard to tell because this is a video. Well, there is this. Now that's not real.
No, I think that's simulated.
That's simulated. That's what they're seeing, right?
See, like this whole pod was going to drop this thing off. I mean, it's got like air jets.
1 mile from landing, and it's just dropping. So it says the rover and a rocket pack detach and free fly above Mars. So this thing lands.
Get back into this now. It lands.
Another
right,
like
and it's going to be
type deal that's going to fly above.
Yeah, but all of these drones that we're sending up there, basically, are outfitted with tests and modules to like do things on Mars. What I'm saying to you is, I know what they tell us they're doing up there, and this is all like super fun. Like watching them land this. I mean, The engineering is crazy.
Got a lot of guys working there.
But like, what happens if they found like a human skull in one of their drillings? You know, are they going to call us and are they going to report that on the news? Like, hey, human remains found on Mars? Or would they like bury that information? Because like Elon wants to go to Mars.
Yes.
What does he know about Mars that we don't know about Mars? Because he's not doing it to prove that it can just be done.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it for a reason. So say it's colonization. Great. That's fantastic. Call it a resort in space. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. Like that gives me like, okay, you just want to put a resort on Mars.
Sure.
Okay, fine. Makes total sense. That top elite 1% of the world can go. Great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, they landed.
Oh,
They landed. There's
successful
a party.
mission.
There's a party in mission control there.
Yeah.
A lot of high fives, and fist bumps.
Yeah. So we accomplished
exciting.
putting another drone up
That is
there.
exciting. That's cool, man.
There's like 20 of them up there.
yeah.
Well, what makes this one any different?
Well, that's not, I don't think there's that many.
Okay, there's 2.
Is this the second one?
I don't know. How about we ask you know who? She usually has the answer.
Oh, I don't want to talk to her. Who knows what's gonna? I don't know if she's air ready. I don't know what she's gonna say. But yeah, no, that's a good question. So what does he know? I mean, he has to know that either what we're gonna need it, or that's
You tell me. I don't see what the need to go to Mars is, but clearly we're spending money, and I don't care if it's personal fortune or not.
Mm-hmm.
You're still spending in a lot of money to go somewhere no one has been. Now I can understand the how do you say it? The vanity in going up there and being able to say, I did it, I engineered it, and I made it capable. But when we're talking about colonizing Mars, that means we want humans to be up there.
He's talking about having a shuttle service and humans.
Awesome.
He said if we plant trees there, then it'll kind of.
How are trees going to grow
us.
in negative 225?
Well, there have to be special trees. he will probably engineer some, you know.
They haven't. Well, then go engineer it on Antarctica.
Some trees. Yeah, that's good for testing. You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If there's a plant farm growing trees on Antarctica,
I don't know much.
In the
I'm
ice.
not an arbor guy. I don't know what the limitations of trees are.
Well, in the dictionary, it's void of life, right? The Arctic Circle,
yeah,
is void of life, has no life.
Okay.
And we're going up there to put life on Mars, plant trees. So the trees are going to be internal.
Well, you're going to have trees, right, to breathe.
Or are you just bringing up oxygen?
Well,
on these shuttles,
I think you'd have to create, right? You'd have to be a self-sustaining colony.
So if they found ice, then you know, especially ice if it's H2O ice, not of another substance, but as long as it has oxygen in it and you're able to convert it to peel off the oxygen, you could then self-make oxygen to breathe.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Okay, so we know that is simplicity. But what are they finding up there? Like they keep sending these. They keep sending these things. Well, I
feel like there's something you want to say. Like I feel like you're going in some direction, and I don't know where. I don't know where you're going. And I'm afraid to ask, but you have some thought. You have something that you're thinking. What do you think is up there?
Well, okay, listen.
Number one, you think it's being hidden from us.
Well, one, we're not being told.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's being hidden. Hidden almost implies that there's like evilness behind people. I don't think we're just not being told.
Well, same, you know.
No, I don't think that's the same.
6 and 1.
Well, it's not, because they can tell us this. Could tell us later.
You think they're protecting?
They're protecting us. Yeah.
And who is they?
Oh, well, just in our circumstances, they would be as our government.
Our government,
right?
Okay.
People that they hire to put in place to investigate NASA or some form of Air Force or something, or some special agency. I'm sure there's millions of them.
Sure.
Men in Black. I mean,
is that real?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, no, think about it. they don't make these movies up from just something, right?
Well, sometimes they do. That's, you know.
There's always some kind of element of truth in everything. I think if you peel back the onion, you can find certain things in there and connect the dots. Like I'm saying, we've had how many movies previous to launching up these probes on Mars? We were having movies about Matt Damon on Mars.
Well, there's always the curiosity, right? What's up with Mars? Can we live there?
Sure, but I don't understand what the
travel?
rip is. Like, we're here on Earth. We have 1 trillion problems here, and we're going to start over in Mars? Like, we're not going to bring up all that mess
Well, I
there?
don't think it's starting over. I think it's just, can we? Right? A guy like Elon Musk,
He's saying we can.
He's saying that, hey, listen, I think it can happen, and I want to be the guy to do it.
And he can do it. That's
and that's
the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And we've had this conversation. He's the guy to do it because he can do that, right? He has that ability. But something had to make him want to.
Well, probably
Like,
somebody said he couldn't.
And you say that a lot. You say that his biggest jump is to be told he can't, and then he just does it, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with that because I think he has some of that in him to know that there's a more efficient way to do things, and he hates to have to prove people right, and he's been doing it for a long time. But like I question, like, when he wrote his first sets of codes and coming out of college and things that have made him, super wealthy and mega rich. What made him want to do that? Was it because he was told he couldn't, or because someone said, man, what would be really efficient is how to do currency over the internet. And then all of a sudden, boom, here's this guy and writes this code and program, and it revolutionized the world and how it operates today. And to think about just that small feat, nobody does traditional banking anymore like it used to be. Almost nobody. And how much of that was linked to him personally, like because of his involvement.
So I heard that he went to start a new job at this company, and he was very shy and didn't want to go through with it working at this company. So he started his own, and that's kind of what launched him in his direction. Like, had he been, confident in going and starting to work at this place, and I forget the name of it, but he would have not started his own path and been working for someone else, and probably not done all the things that he's done. So interesting, flip on how life could have turned out for him.
But I think he's so smart. I think he knew working for someone else would have been a stepping stone anyway in his life. Like, even if he did work for this whatever company for 10 years or whatever, he would have outgrown it or had made the company to the point where he owned it. Like Jordan with Nike. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're synonymous at this point, right?
So
he is synonymous with being his own entity now, right? Forget his past. But what I'm bringing up to you is we talk about all these things that make you want to do something. You want to know what gets me to Mars? Like, do you want to ask me what would make me want to go to Mars?
So I'm going to ask you this, okay? Because this will lead in here. I was doing some research, right?
Yeah.
And I was looking, because we're realtors.
Right.
And, the question is, do we need to be licensed to sell real estate on Mars? Can you buy real estate on Mars?
Do you have an answer?
I do. Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Of course you do. You've researched it.
Here, let me pull let me pull it up for you.
And we're going to go right to fact checking it right off the bat. No, I'm interested. Give it to me.
Because there is the UN Outer Space Treaty of 1967 is the controlling law of space, whether you can purchase land or on the moon or on Mars or basically any planet, right? And they said that no government can own extraterrestrial property. However, it neglects to. Now, this is a loophole that there's a company that actually sells land on Mars and the moon. I'm not condoning it. I don't know if I trust it, but I'm just saying there is a company you could go online and you can buy, acres of land on Mars and the moon. And they say that it's a company called Lunar Embassy, right? Now they say that the loophole is that because no government can own it. However, neglects to mention individuals and corporations.
Okay.
So they took the reins of this thing, and you can go on, you can go on the site.
But then negates the point, because where there's no government in every country, there are wealthy citizens who then buy, but under the cloud of government.
No.
So like a U.S. citizen buying that, he's still a U.S. citizen.
But there's no citizenship in outer space. So they're saying that you can go to the site. It's called buymars.com, and
you got to get it.
You want to look at it.
I got to see this.
But so it's called buymars.com, and you can go there and you can pick out an acre or whatever of land, and honestly it's.
Bro, at this point, Elon Musk would have bought all of Mars. Maybe that's what happened.
Well, again, is it real?
I don't know.
You're
telling me this. I'm following your call here on this thing.
Is it binding? Because I don't. I mean,
well,
I wouldn't trust.
There are no governments allowed. Therefore, there is no ruling body. Therefore,
exactly.
No. Technically, you could go to this lunar place, buy an acre on Mars, but until you go up there and stake it.
Here we go.
Maybe that's what his motivation for going up there is. Maybe that's why we're sending all these drones. We're shoving stakes down.
But here, look. So here's Mars, right? There's gift packages, so you could buy somebody. Look, and it's pretty cheap. I mean, $29.99 it starts at for 1 acre. You can get 20 acres on Mars for $149.
Okay, listen. I've got a problem with all this, and here's my problem with it. I don't believe if this existed.
There's a lot of problems here. It does not seem like it's really.
No, because here's what I'm going to say,
mm-hmm.
and this is how crazy this is going to
mm-hmm.
go. So just follow me here for 10 seconds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, here's.
I own property up north, right? You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody from Russia or from somewhere from Mars shot a rover over and had it rolling around on my land, right, I would have some type of recourse, right?
Yeah.
So
because the government,
we're shooting up all these rovers on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
There's people down here clearly buying up acreages of land on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
What's to say the U.S. government isn't rolling over somebody's plot?
Yeah, we don't know.
And now, do they owe them royalties? Do they owe them something?
We don't know.
Interesting
Facts. But yeah. Anyways, so that's what I would think. I think that.
So you're saying we can sell there, but not necessarily a licensing issue. We have to get into this club that has the rights.
Yeah, you want to work as agents for
lunar
loonies, whatever.
Hey, can we be the loony realtors?
Loony realtors.
The loony Mars realtors. Can we just pitch that as us? Can we get in on this action?
Yeah.
No. I listen. That would be one thing to get me up to Mars. Would be the potential to go up there and sell real estate. Right?
You would want to look around and say, yeah.
I'd just like to see. I like to see the dirt and be like, wow, this is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 50 acres. I think that's what these rover things are doing. Maybe they're just driving around dropping pins. And making them like 20 acre.
You think they're mapping out the Mars, getting ready for, yeah.
Hey, are we going to Mars because we know there's a meteor on its way?
Well, they knocked one of them out of the sky, didn't they?
They just ran a garbage.
What was that missile they shot up there to hit an asteroid or something? That was happened a few months back.
Yeah, but did it?
Yeah,
I know it hit it, but did it do anything?
It broke it apart just enough. It was like Armageddon stuff. Like the movie Armageddon, not Armageddon.
Technically it worked.
It worked. And the amount of technology that it took to pinpoint from here to shoot that missile up and actually hit that asteroid moving as it was is amazing, right? And again, we saw videos. Do we know that it happened? Don't know.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, but we'll go with the video. Hey, go to the tape, right? Allegedly. There you go.
Throwing up the quotes.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaurs didn't have the ability to shoot a missile to knock the thing out of the sky. They didn't have that ability.
We don't think.
Wow.
We don't. If they did,
Well,
they would have been saved, right?
I don't know any type of animal whose head is bigger than their arms. I don't know what creation the T-Rex was, but clearly he was bad. He was an enormous individual, but had no arms.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to say that they could shoot a missile. I don't know if we're going to go that far.
You don't know what they were doing.
We don't know what they were
actually
doing. And they
doing?
were big. I mean,
They were
these
around for a
animals-
while.
These
Yeah.
creatures were enormous.
Giant.
Yeah, they were
Giant.
enormous.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's dinosaur stuff. Like I said, they're probably going to find dinosaur bones on Mars, and that should
course.
then lead us to want to go there.
So would that mean? Does that mean?
'Cause
that
that
the
means there's oil.
So you think the dinosaurs were traveling up to Mars, or you think these are different Mars dinosaurs?
Well, no, see, you said
No, you said.
allegedly.
Yeah. No, I said what? I don't know where you're going with this. Do you think the dinosaurs?
No,
are,
I'm saying, what if you find dinosaur bones on Mars, right? No, we're talking about all this probing. We're going to find a couple
find
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs. So
So now we know there's oil.
yeah.
So we know that the oil tycoons are going to be up there drilling for oil. Maybe
So
that's
it's
what
all
they're
about
looking
oil.
for. It's
Okay.
all about oil.
Okay. So you think that my question is, do you think the dinosaurs were traveling to Mars, or do you think that they were
Maybe they were just there.
they were just there?
Maybe they were just there.
Maybe every planet had dinosaurs, and then.
I don't know if we have to go into every planet. I'm just saying we picked Mars. Why Mars? Is because it's the closest one we can get to, right? I mean, that's the next jump.
Closest to the Earth's atmosphere, right?
So once we get to Mars, that means we can do a landing station to go to the next one. Does you see where I'm going with this? Progression, I don't believe, ends at Mars. I don't believe that humans are going to go from here.
That's why we have the International Space Station, right? So we can
get there,
jump and
fuel up the craft to get us there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so the transit would be bigger station on the moon, which then makes going to Mars easier, which probably is why the new let's go to the moon missions are coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I got to go, man. I got a showing, so we got to wrap it up.
Okay. So, man, we covered a lot. So
A lot. It was a good time. Good time. Good thought.
Yeah.
Good topic, though.
Coffee.
Coffee, Mars, dinosaurs.
Coffee, Mars, dinosaurs. Wow. So, we'll
We'll just wrap it up with that, dude. Any more than that, we'll get.
I think that's enough for today.
That's enough for today. That's enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Bob
Thanks,
Mike
everyone.
Cast.
See you next time.
Everyone have a great day.